Okay, we are back, and Drum Machine is in the house. So I've created a new empty MIDI file, or MIDI channel I should say, and we're going to just throw Drum Machine straight in here, and here it is. And it's just loaded with a auto load kit. And what we'll do is actually I'm just going to stop all the clips here, and I'm going to click at the top here where you can load kits, and we're going to go straight to the melodic techno pack that I've created here, and we're going to go to one or two of the kits. So again, if you are familiar with any form of Drum Machine type plugin, or even stuff like drum racks in Ableton, this will not be alien territory to you. It's a very slick, very intuitive workflow with Drum Machine, and we're going to go through some setups now. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I am going to go and hit one of these packs, one of these kits. Kit 6 is one of my favorites, and I'll give you a bit of a preview of what it sounds like now everything is not playing. And we have its onboard sequencer here. Very cool. 16 patterns. So you have 16 different patterns, and I've loaded them with all kinds of stuff. Nicely done. Different vibes, of course. You get the idea. So we can obviously trigger via MIDI any one of these notes. And we've got all kinds of stuff. I've spent quite a long time designing these sounds and getting everything exactly where you need it to be, so it's sounding this good straight out of the box. So to explain, we've got a couple of different things that we can do here. Very similar to MIDI Grid, we've got the ability to get patterns like this and be able to move them into the DAW. So let's say, for example, if I like something like, say, for example, let's say something like this, like 11 or 12, for example. I can click and hold on the pattern number, drag and drop it straight in, and there is your nominal drum groove. Very, very easy, right? So pretty cool. So from here, I could just, again, continue the programming on in MIDI, should I choose to. However, one of the things that we can look at as well is obviously we've got a whole plethora of tools. We've got the ability to change the tuning. As you can see, this one's already tuned up by a couple of semitones. And we've got filters, compressors, EQs, input filters, drive. That sounds fantastic. A really nice sounding compressor. Obviously the sequencer, which you've already seen, and a fully fledged mixer. Now, what you'll notice at the moment is that all 16 sounds are defaulting to the main output. And that's okay. That's totally fine. That works fine. And one of the things we could actually do is actually, because this is a multi-output plugin, we can create a setup where we can get all of these 16 sounds out to 16 different outputs. And we can do that on an individual basis by going to a direct out. And again, you've got the main out, and then you've got, which would be output 1, and then out 2 through 16. So you've got those 16 outputs. That would be quite a time-consuming and quite laborious, and not to mention quite boring process to do on an individual level. You could also, as well, because there are buses as well, we could actually put different things into different buses and then output those. However, I want individual control because there's other things I might want to do to these sounds outside of Drum Machine. I might want to add some side chaining. I might want to add some third-party VST effects. I might want to use, even more powerful EQs, compressors, distortion. Maybe I've got my own setup that way, and I want to incorporate that. So that's no problem at all. because I can go to the menu at the top here, which I've already clicked, and I can click split, and you actually go to routing, I should say, and I can route pads to the direct outs. So that means we're going to get a change here. And what you can see here is output 1 through 16 are now going through their individual outs, which is pretty cool. So from here, what we'll hear if I just hit solo, you'll just hear the kick, okay, coming through Drum Machine. Now, we're going to do a little bit of routing masterclassery, shall we say, in Ableton, because we're going to hit Command and T, and we're going to create an audio track. Now, what we're going to do is route this audio track to receive output 2, which will be that pluck sound you heard before. So what we'll do is actually create a bit more of a busy sequence. Say something like that. Something where everything's in, basically. So we can get all of these outputs. So from here, what we'll do is focus in here on the I/O section, again, very important in Ableton. And again, we're going to take audio from Drum Machine. But where are we taking it from? Well, we'll click on the post mixer menu here for the routing. And as you can see, I've got output 2 through 16. I'm going to set that to output 2. And then I'm going to set the monitor to auto. And then what we should get, set the monitor to in, I should say. Very, very cool. And you can hear like the back end of, say, the reverbs and the delay that we've got going on here as well. And we can route them to whatever output we want. There might be certain sounds that we don't want to use, and we can donate to those sends and returns. So that's quite a useful thing to do as well. We could also mute them, and you can also use your own reverb and delay. I quite like the sound of them, to be honest with you. So what we'll do now is essentially just do that very quickly for each sound. So I'm going to duplicate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then obviously Drum Machine is 16. And then what we'll do is change each channel 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and etc. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm only calling them out to remember the number. 16. And there you go. So what we can then do is we can obviously rename those, but I'm not going to make you sit there and go through all of that. I'm going to hold Shift and select from Drum Machine over on the top bars to these other 15 audio channels that I've just made, because let's face it, you probably don't want to do that every time you want to use Drum Machine for full flexibility. The good news is you don't have to, because what I'm going to do by selecting all of these guys here is I'm going to hold Command and I'm going to press G to group. Okay, lovely stuff. Then I can call this Command R. I can just call that Drum Machine Multi. And what's great about this is I can just assign the track colors, essentially. Very nice. And then from here, and there you go, the whole thing's working beautifully. Now from here, obviously that makes things more organized by grouping channels. Indeed, we could do that for Diva and MIDI Grid as well. We could call that ARP. And we can do a little bit of cleanup while we're in town, shall we say. And one of the things I can now do is I could save this. And how I will save this is I will put this in what I call my palette. And I've got, this is all my custom sounds from all of my creative projects over the years. And this is where the sound of me as a producer lives. It's where I do a lot of my best work. So I save everything. I save my drums, I save settings for all the different synths, instrument racks, the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to drag that into drums. And it's going to have a little think about it while the drive spins up, and I've got Drum Machine Multi. I can click enter there or hit enter, and now I have that saved. So in future, if what I want is my multi-channel drum machine, I can head in, take this channel, drag, drop in, boom, done, hit play. There you go. It's all there, ready and waiting for you. So that is Drum Machine. A great intro to it. We've got the right kit going now. In the next video, now we've got it set up and got the routing correct, we're now going to go into actually programming this kit to actually make it work with our melodic idea. So stay tuned, because things are about to get really, really interesting.